Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, November 8th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. First up, I have my monthly November 2013 Google Webmaster report, where we pretty much summarize all the main things that happened over the past month, Google Webmaster related. So the big things was obviously the mugshot algorithm, the new, which I'll talk about soon, the image mismatch penalty, the Webmaster Tools security issues section, the news that Google will be reducing by 15% or so the rich snippets showing in the search results, and a bunch of other things. So if you want to catch up on all the news in terms of the past month in Google Webmaster related topics, check out November 7th at seroundtable.com. Earlier this week, I reported about some possible updates happening between the time frame on Google updates between the time frame of October 31st and even November 5th or 6th. So there was a lot of discussion, chatter over Webmaster World. It wasn't a tremendous amount. It seemed like there were some minor Google tweaks and updates that were happening that might have affected a limited number of people. Google has not confirmed this as an update, but there definitely seems to be something that has gone on a small level. So it might have been, who knows what it was exactly, but it was something that was going on, so hopefully you guys were not impacted in a negative way by that. Google has not officially announced this, but there's a new Google manual action penalty called image mismatch. Image mismatch is basically when you are showing Google one image versus showing the user another image. It's kind of like cloaking for images. Google, I don't know why they don't call it cloaking, they're calling it image mismatch. Typically, I think because a lot of webmasters deploy something called anti-hot linking techniques, which actually discourage users or webmasters from stealing other people's images by showing them different images that aren't there. So when you use those techniques, Google doesn't like it because obviously they want their searchers that see a specific image in Google search to actually, when they click on it, see that exact image. So when showing the wrong images, it's a problem. So Google has a help document talking about image mismatch in the manual action section. You can read about it over here. You click on it, and here is the first webmaster that I saw that actually got this penalty, and they actually sent me a screenshot showing it. Google local spam is always an issue, and it's always been an issue, but it seems to be more of an issue when the knowledge graph is so important. Linda, who's a top contributor over at Google Local or Maps or Business Help Forums, been complaining about this since August or late August, and nothing's really happened. The problem is when you do a search for generic types of local keywords like dentist in a specific location, what you do is spammers are actually going ahead and creating fake Google Plus profiles. They're getting ranked, and they actually lead to bogus things. You call that phone number over there, nothing happens. It goes to some weird house. That address is somebody's home. It's not a dentist office. It's a spam issue. I'm not sure exactly how large the issue is, but it seems to be an issue for a lot of people. This is interesting. Google basically admitted that, Eric Kahn from Google basically admitted that reconsideration requests do have errors sometimes. So basically this person from the University of St. Louis, Washington University of St. Louis, in the Center for Infectious Disease, started a new website at micro, I can't remember, know what that is, some weird website.org, some very technical term. And basically he said that for some reason he submitted a reconsideration request because the site was labeled as pure spam. Thing is, the original site was as pure spam. He just got the site and he acquired it. But basically, Eric said, it looks like there may have been an error when processing your reconsideration request. We're reprocessing it now. You just see a change in manual actions viewer in the next couple of days. So it is possible that if you do submit a reconsideration request, it could go bad. And it's not your fault. It could be Google's fault. That's scary, but it's possible. This is interesting. Shopify. They're one of the largest e-commerce related businesses on the internet. There is over 70,000 customers who use them, and they're having a problem with the customers' images getting indexed properly. Their vice president of marketing, Craig Miller, posted a thread. He removed it afterwards, but he posted a thread saying Shopify is one of the largest e-commerce platforms, blah, blah, blah. Our merchants seem to have issues with their image SEO. It's a common complaint in our discussion forums, and I confirmed that indeed have issues being indexed and showing up on images.google.com. What's the issue? So Eric from Google said that Shopify is using a cache-busting technique. And because of that, the cache-busting feature is causing Google to recognize your images as different every time you crawl your site. Because of this, it's causing problems indexing a lot of images on your site. The thing is, Craig told me that he hasn't made any changes. It's always been like that for 2+ years. Recently, only the past couple weeks or whatever it might be, Google has problems with it. Either way, Eric's not going to make any changes, but it seems like Shopify, Craig from Shopify, is making changes to go ahead and appease Google and make sure those images get indexed. Just an interesting topic. Google AdSense announced that they now have a new feature that lets you automate in some way the A and B testing of Google AdSense ads. Google said we're releasing a new AdSense experiment feature for your ad unit test settings. Basically, this lets you test lots of different cases by using one snippet of code. And here's a screenshot of what that setup looks like. And obviously, there's a whole reporting engine now to show you A and B testing and how that works. Google AdWords is testing not on the mobile site anymore, but also now on the desktop, a new ads label. So you've seen this before, the new ads label. It shows up on mobile, but here it is if you do a search in desktop. Google's actually showing that. The actual ad doesn't blend. It blends better into the actual results. As you can see, there's no color differentiation between the ad and the organic listing, but they have that little ad gold label there. I assume as they deploy this, that gold will turn into more gray and light gray, so that people are less able to differentiate between the ads and the organic listings. The Pigment has returned to the new Google Maps. One of the downsides of Google Maps, the new one, is that it's missing a lot of the core features from the old Google Maps. As Google slowly releases a lot of those features to Google Maps, the new Google Maps, it makes a big sting of it. I mean, it's great. The Pigment is unbelievable. It's a search feature that I use all the time, and it's frustrating that you're not able to actually see it easily in the new Google Maps. And now they have brought it back to the new Google Maps in the bottom left or right corner of the screen. They made such a big sting of that. They made all these social videos, created hundreds, over 200 different style pigments, including this one, which is a pigment for Larry and Sergey Brin of Google, the founders. So, OK Google, the voice command, when you say OK Google on your Android phone, is now available on the iOS app. Plus another thing, so if you now open up the iOS Google search app, all you do is say OK Google, it will launch voice search. They added notifications, kind of like Google Now notifications in a better way on iOS. They added reminders on iOS. They added cards, Google Now cards on iOS. And obviously the OK Google command. It was funny, I was playing with this morning on my KitKat Android Nexus 5 phone, and I was saying OK Google worked, OK Glass worked, OK Android worked, OK Barry worked, OK Jarvis worked. I'm not sure if I just sound weird, and that's why, but it was interesting. Facebook is pushing out new like buttons. So they're now blue and they actually stand out a lot more. They obviously draw more attention and people like it more. Here's a whole slew of different like and share buttons that you can actually get. And this is automatic. You don't have to do anything. It's going to automatically change on your website. Finally, this morning, Google has a new ink blot logo. It's pretty cool, actually. You go to google.com, you see the ink blot. You can actually share what you think you saw. And obviously, you can do a search. It's for Herman Warsavat, who developed the ink block test. I can't pronounce his name, I'm sorry. Basically, it's his 129th birthday, and the ink block test is known by everybody, and he invented it, and Google wants to go ahead and reach out and say, cool. I went ahead and shared one of these. I said anything I saw was a Google Panda, just because I thought it was cute. But anyway, if you want to play with it, you can definitely take a look at that. Anyway, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. Today, again, is November 8th. This is the search news we covered over at the Search Roundtable at SEOroundtable.com. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Bye.